A new year means a new set of movies, but which movies are going to be the highest grossing movies of the year? Well, I'm here to give you my predictions for the 10 highest grossing movies of 2026. Hi, my name is Nathan. I talk a lot about movies on this channel. If you're new here, down below in the comment section, share your predictions for the highest grossing movies of the year 2026. If you're new here, down below in the comment section, share your predictions. Over on my channel, I have more content like this. Check those out once this video is over. Click the like button and be sure to subscribe because that really does help a lot. And with all that said, these are just kind of my predictions. There could be some things that I'm forgetting, but I think these movies are the ones that are most likely to do well at the box office this year. And let's just get straight into it. Number 10, Michael. Michael Jackson is one of the most prominent figures in music history, and he's possibly the biggest, most popular figure in just sort of the pop culture famous singer history, where he's known internationally. He's known, of course, very well in the United States. I have a friend at school who loves Michael Jackson and everything Michael Jackson, and when the trailer dropped for this movie, there was a lot of hype surrounding it. People were talking about it, and it got people excited. And so, you know, biopics don't tend to make a whole bunch of money historically. But with a Michael Jackson biopic, I can see this one reaching around $600 million. Like, I don't think it's going to be a phenomenal billion-dollar film. I'd be surprised if it was. But I do think it is going to do very well at the box office, hence why it's on this list. 9, Jumanji 4. I'm just kind of basing this off of the track record of the previous 2 Jumanji films, which is to say, Welcome to the Jungle made almost $1 billion at the box office, and Next Level, the sequel to that movie, made like $850 million at the box office. Based on that track record, I'm not sure that this movie is going to make as much as those other two, especially since those two were pre-COVID when movies were regularly making that amount of money. But this is a franchise with this new revival set of films. There's been a lot of people that thoroughly enjoy this new revival set of films, myself included. I have a certain nostalgia for it, so when this movie comes out, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to go see this one because all my friends love it. I love it. There's just a charm to these movies, and the previous 2 were smash hits at the box office and revived the Jumanji franchise, so I would not be surprised if Jumanji 4 performed very well at the box office. Number 8, The Odyssey. This is the kind of quintessential epic of pretty much all time. Like, it was written by Homer like 3,000 years ago, and it's still talked about and studied to this day. And I know that for a fact because 9th grade freshman year high school, we analyzed excerpts from the Odyssey, and so it's still talked about, it's still relevant to this day, and it's still probably one of the most influential stories. I don't know how international this is, but I have a feeling that the Odyssey will do well internationally as well as in the US. I kind of try to base this off of the track record of Nolan's previous film Oppenheimer as well as Nolan's other movies. And his movies seem to generate a lot of money, but keep in mind, Oppenheimer made almost $1 billion, and I feel like a bunch of that is just because of the Barbenheimer. So I'm not doubting that this movie will make a lot of money. I just don't know that it'll make quite as much as Oppenheimer. I still think it'll hit like the 700 million-esque mark, ish mark, and I hope it does very well. I imagine it doing very well because they also pre-did you could purchase tickets early, like a year early on IMAX screenings, and I remember seeing a seating chart of it, and a good amount of seats were filled for it, and so I have a feeling that this movie already has the potential to make like maybe even $1 billion. I'd be surprised if it did, I'll say that. But I do think it's going to be a very well-performing film. And then we have Dune Part 3, Dune Messiah, and I simply just think this one will make a whole bunch of money. Look at the previous track record of the other Dune movies. The second one, of course, made a lot more. But what's truly impressive to me is that the first Dune from 2021 made around $400 $420-ish million at the box office, and that was a movie that was released in the middle of a pandemic and was released simultaneously in theaters and on HBO Max, and it still managed to make $400 million at the box office. If people care about Dune during a lockdown and are going out to see it when it's also simultaneously streaming on HBO Max at the same time, and Dune Part 2 ended up making like $750 million, I have a very good feeling Dune 3 could be the highest grossing film in the franchise, and it's just as simple as that. I think that, especially because of the rising fame of Timothée Chalamet, and you're bringing in people like Robert Pattinson in here, I have a feeling this one will make more than the other two. Number 6, Minions 3. This is a franchise that just keeps printing money out for Universal as well as Illumination, because Despicable Me 3 made $1 billion. Despicable Me 4, which is a movie I don't like, made like almost $1 billion. It made like 900 shook the camera. It made like 900 something million dollars, and then Minions 2 also almost made $1 billion. This is just a franchise that just will keep printing money because the Minions are such iconic characters, and we all have childhood nostalgia for them. I'm excited for this movie, and I think it has a very high chance of, I don't know if it will quite make $1 billion, because not even Despicable Me 4, the main film, made $1 billion, but it got really close. And so did the spin-off Minions 2. And Minions 1 also made $1 billion. I have to mention that. So this franchise just keeps putting out money, and so I think this is going to be another powerhouse. Number 5, the Moana live action. Am I personally excited for the Moana live action movie? No. I have so much nostalgia for the original Moana, and so I have no interest in seeing this Moana live action. And however, Moana, the original film, has consistently remained like just sort of this little classic, this new little modern classic for children of this generation for such a long time. And I don't particularly like it that these Disney live action movies are making as much money as they are, because they're just cheap remakes of original films without adding anything new. But simply put, if the Lilo and Stitch remake is able to make $1 billion last year, and Moana 2 able to make $1 billion as just sort of this lazy cash grab sequel, I have a pretty good chance that this movie will also reach potentially $1 billion, or $900 million. Hence, why it is so high up on this list. Am I excited for this movie? No. But will it make a lot of money, and will people go see it? I have a feeling the answer to that is yes. Number 4, Spider-Man Brand New Day. This would typically go higher up on the list, but I just look at the track record of some previous Spider-Man movies, and I'm not really sure, but I do think that this movie is going to generate a lot of money. Of course, new MCU film. MCU has been like the powerhouse of the box office in film industry for like forever now, and so it's natural to say that a new Spider-Man movie will make $1 billion. Far From Home made $1 billion. No Way Home, which I don't think this is going to make nearly as much as No Way Home, but that also made $1 billion. I don't even think this one's going to make as much as Far From Home, hence why it's not in the top 3, because Far From Home made a bunch of money, not only because it was a Spider-Man movie, but also because it came out right after Avengers Endgame, when everybody was super hyped about Marvel, and Avengers Endgame was obviously like the biggest movie of all time at the time, and so getting a direct sequel to that in the form of a Spider-Man movie was just really exciting for everybody. This one, I don't feel that fully, but like even the Spider-Verse movies, which are fantastic, and are kids' movies more so, they didn't even make $1 billion, but they made a good amount of money. I think this movie will make money because it's live action, and it's a Spider-Man movie, so it's gonna generate money. Then we have movies that are gonna make $1 billion for sure to me, and kicking off that is Toy Story 5. Simply put, the Toy Story movies have just kind of always been popular. We've all had, much like the Minions franchise, we've always had like childhood nostalgia for them, and that obviously led to the third one making $1 billion when that came out. The fourth one even made $1 billion whenever that one came out. And these Disney legacy-ish sequels, these Disney sequels, tend to generate a lot of money for Disney. We just got Zootopia 2. That ended up making $1 billion, even though we had to wait like 9 years for it. Zootopia 2 made $1 billion. Moana 2 made $1 billion. Inside Out 2 made $1 billion. I have no doubt that this movie's going to make $1 billion. Very simple. Number 2, the Mario Galaxy movie. I just feel like this is going to be absolutely one of the highest grossing movies of the year. Look at the powerhouse that was the Mario movie from 2023. That made $1.3 billion and was just a big powerhouse in whenever that film came out. And so I feel that there actually is more hype surrounding this movie, and that because it's Mario Galaxy, because it's a property that everybody knows and loves, and because I feel that there's more hype from the gaming community, the movie community, and myself included, I feel like it's actually going to make more than the original, and so I actually would place it this high up on the list just because of that. I'm excited for this movie. I'm sure a lot of you guys are excited for this movie, and that's just because they're expanding the world, and we all grew up with Mario, and we have nostalgia. That's what this is, and so I just think it's going to make more than the original. I could be wrong on that, though. That's just a prediction of mine. But, of course, the highest grossing movie of the year, my prediction is Avengers Doomsday. I don't even think I have to explain here. Avengers is consistently... It's like the Marvel has several different franchises in it, and all of the Avengers movies have previously made $1 billion. I think this one easily makes $1 billion, like, first weekend. Not even first weekend, but maybe, because there's just so much hype surrounding this, the speculation, the little teasers they drop, the X-Men coming back, bringing back Captain America. I just think all of that is a formula for people to go see this movie and see, what does this all look like? Even if you're skeptical, you kind of want to see what all this really looks like with Avengers Doomsday, Robert Downey Jr. coming back. Like, I just feel like there's just too much hype surrounding this movie for it to not be number one on this list. And we'd be getting these teasers that have little clues in the clock and things like that. There's just so much speculation, so much stuff surrounding this, that I think this one easily just drops at number one on this list. It's the safest bet about what's going to be the highest grossing movie of 2026. And I think it's going to be Avengers Doomsday. So for me, this one is my prediction for the highest grossing movie of 2026. There you have it, but those are just my predictions. Down below in the comment section, share your box office predictions of 2026 over on my channel. There's more content like this. Check those out right now. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.